Seems like we ready. Seems like we're ready. Gang, what's good? It's getting crazy. Let me just make sure we locked in. Seems like we ready. Seems like we're ready. What's good, gang? I see you in the building. Sim's in the building. I see you. We live. Sim's in the building. Diego. What we sound like? Let me see what we sound like before we get started. It's crazy. It's crazy, gang. How y'all been? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Mine was good. I don't know if y'all saw last week. I did like 10 videos in 3 days. So I took a day off yesterday. I'm usually off on Mondays anyway. I only go on Mondays when it's something that really happens. But Monday's the day off, gang. But it's been a lot. Last week, a lot going on, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. We got a lot to talk about. Sam's in the building. Diego, Raphael. Let me see. Nadine, D. Rick, James, Frida Robots, Keisha, Zero Burn, Elevated Gamer, Miss Curiosity, Kia Natural Beauty, gang. Listen. Done Deal, Lorena. I'm trying to get the names right. TDX. Listen. Violente. Listen. We got a lot to discuss. First things first. Diego, I see you. First things first. You guys about to make me go see Michael. Twitter, anime, what's good? Twitter, you about to make me go see Michael. First things first. Locks in the building. Charmed in the building. Listen, I was hesitant. Gang. I'm gonna be honest. They came out with the reviews. Matty boy, I see you. They came out with the reviews saying that Michael was trash, gang. The very first critics for Michael said it was bad, gang. And I don't be really expecting much from biopics anyway. But Michael's my guy. So I really wasn't expecting much because I was like, they're gonna probably do Michael dirty, have this joint looking like Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me, where everybody walk away like, what happened? Right? And then, like Diego said, Paris and Janet didn't co-sign it. I thought this was for them, right? I thought this was for Paris and Janet for their approval. I thought they were the ones that were supposed to be behind this. And somewhere, somehow, Paris bowed out over, I think, creative differences, right? And I think that Janet bowed out for the same thing, right? Bing, I see you. So I wasn't expecting much, gang. We saw how they did, who they do it to, TLC. We saw how they did Mary J, right? We saw how they did Pac. I wasn't expecting much, gang. And what happened, I saw a lot of people coming out of the theater, fresh out the theater. I ain't gonna lie, I made a joke about one, like they was crying coming out of there. I was like, crying? What's going on, Black Twitter? Crying coming out the Michael Jackson movie? What's good? What's this, his nephew playing Michael? First of all, I didn't enter the Leah video, once you right. First I said, who gonna play Michael? Remember the rumors, gang? Let's be honest. The rumors was they had a white guy playing Michael. I said, hold up, that's disrespectful. I said, that come on. I think they had the white, I think it was a joke, but you never know. You never ever know. So I was like, wait, they got a white guy playing. No, they first said it was a white guy, then it was a white lady supposed to play Mike. I said, Now y'all just being goddamn disrespectful, right? Goddamn disrespectful. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna reserve judgment because I had just went to the movies. I just saw a movie that was really good. The movie with Ryan Gosling. What's the name of that movie? The space movie with the he goes to save Earth and he meets this alien that's made of rocks. And I didn't know what to expect in that movie. I went to see it. It was good. I said, "Oh shit! Well, you only getting one or two good movies a year at this point." So I said, "You know what? I'm a reserve judgment on that Michael, right? And I'm gonna wait and see what people saying." And Black Twitter, y'all came through. Y'all coming out the theater crying. I saw Aries Spears. We're gonna get to Aries Spears later too. Him and Vlad, their issues. I saw a lot of people saying, and it's easier. Let's be honest. It's easier for people. Project Hail Mary, Zero. That's the Ryan Gosling movie, Project Hail Mary. It's easier to come out saying something negative than it is saying something positive about any movie. So for Aries Spears and all these other people, I think I saw some people on Twitter salute. I think my guy Master Student and a lot of people were saying they were coming out tweeting, forget the reviews. This is one of them. This is one of the moments where the critics is all off, right? This is one of the moments where you can't go by the critics. So you gotta understand, I'm a Michael Jackson fan from listen, gang. Listen, I'm talking Jackson 5, the Jackson 5 cartoon, right? Before and after his brothers. So I'm day one when Michael was 5. Like I'm day one Michael fan. So you got to really impress me, right? Damn right. Even you, right? You got to really impress me when you talk about Michael. I don't play with it, gang. That's my guy. So I was like, gang, I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna reserve judgment, right? So what happened was I waited, and the critics came out and said, "Bong, this is a bomb. It is a 20 on the Rotten Tomato. It's bad. They had it really bad, right? The cartoon and all that. I salute to Done Deal talking about the cartoon. So I said, damn, they messed it up again. Then the daughter backed out, right? And I'm like, well, I ain't gotta waste my money to go see it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm all good. I'm good. Then all of a sudden, all these, I think like a bunch of celebrities started retweeting. I'm like, first of all, Charles, slow down. This could be a campaign. This could be this could literally be a paid campaign getting influencers to say it's good. So let's see. Wait, Charles, just wait to see what the people say, right? So slowly but surely, I'm talking about every 10 minutes, it's like when Black Panther came out. It was like, hold up, everybody, all the black people liking this shit. Everybody's like, forget the reviews, forget what they're saying out there. Go see it. Go see Michael. Right? I said, I have not seen this kind of push in a long time. Please don't nobody tell it because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen this kind of a push, especially from Black Twitter about something being positive in a very long time. It's been a good minute before Black Twitter got behind something. Like I said, Black Panther, and let me think, but not the second one, the first one. What was that? What's another one that everybody was all like, you gotta go see it? I can't think of the other stuff, but it's very rare, right? And it's some people in the comments now telling me it's very good. Nia Long, right? My guy, I can't remember a homeboy name, but I'm gonna get to it. What's homeboy's name? He's in it, and he don't mess around. He don't mess around. The guy that's playing Joe. Let me get to this Michael Jackson. Let me get to this. The guy that's playing Joe. He don't mess around. He be acting his ass off. Let me get to some article to see what I can get with this some information. Michael Moon walks to 97 million opening, shattering the record for music biopics. The highly authorized portrayal of the King of Pop far surpassed previous biopic top performers. It beat Straight Outta Compton and Bohemian Rhapsody. Gang, this thing is pushing. This is one of the biggest in the history of movies. The big budget. I really thought it was gonna flop. I really thought it was gonna flop, but it changed everything. Just like when House Party came out, nobody thought House Party was gonna make no money, and everybody went and went to see it. Let me see. Frida Robot Salute. Thank you for the super chat. Check out who was 100 on Complex list. Yep, I'm gonna get to that too. We're gonna get to that 100, that Complex 100. But gang, listen. Coleman Domingo, that's my guy. Yeah, Coleman Domingo. Like I said, I have not seen it, but I just told wife, I said, wife, we might have to go see this thing. We might have to go see it in the theaters, right? We be watching shit in the house, but I'm like, we might have to go see this in the theaters, right? Even though Paris is not with it, she put out more. I don't know what's Paris. I don't think she said why, right? I don't think she said why she's not with it. Somebody can tell me in the comments, but Paris not with it, Janet not with it, and it may be that they wanted more or less of the story of the drama of his real life. Maybe they wanted more of that in there. Some people are calling this a big PR move. So I don't know why Paris is upset with this, but let me finish. A highly authorized portrayal of the King of Pop, co-produced by the Jackson Estate. Lionsgate Michael far surpasses previous biopic top performers like Straight Outta Compton and Bohemian Rhapsody. International sales were also, Michael is still an icon, gang. It collected 120 million overseas to give it a 217.4 million global opening, a new high for a music biopic. They knew what they were doing, gang. I wonder how much Sony getting out of this. Let's just be honest. A few weeks back, estimates from Michael were close to 50 million. Going into the weekend, it estimated closer to 70 million, but it wildly overperformed. Michael is still a icon. People still want to hear what Michael had happened in his life and had what's going on, right? And Diego said once Janet and Paris didn't co-sign, I had to respect that. I don't know why they didn't though. You know what I mean? Got to be a reason. I don't know exactly what it is, what's going on. Let me see what PNW Nisha said. They just make Joe look greedy, and it highlights the genius of his music and his magic on stage. Okay, let's talk about Joe. All right, gang. Let's have a real conversation about Joe Jackson. Salute to, and this is, listen, I know Joe is a touchy subject for real Michael Jackson fans. Let's just be honest. Let's have a conversation about Joe Jackson, right? I don't know everything about Joe Jackson, okay? But Michael, I just watched a video this morning on Twitter where Michael said, "Can you got to understand Michael's point of view?" He said when they used to rehearse and he would get the notes wrong or he would do a dance move wrong, Joe Jackson jump all over him, beat him, and throw him in the basement, gang. I just saw the video today. So I get it that Joe Jackson, it's a touchy subject because Joe Jackson is very controversial. So let's have this conversation. Joe Jackson pulled 4 or 5 black kids out of one of the roughest cities in the country and made them mega stars. He kept them disciplined, even without the music. A strong black father keeping 4 guys disciplined like that, who all could have went all kind of ways, and they tried to get in trouble. Let's be honest. I think Jermaine got his girlfriend pregnant early, and I think maybe Tito got his girlfriend pregnant, if I'm not mistaken, gang. But at the end of the day, it's not easy to do what Joe Jackson did, but at the same time, let's just be honest. Joe Jackson was such a menace that Michael had to remove himself from the situation, right? Gary, Indiana, right? Michael removed himself and removed his father from having any control in his life, right? Which is hard to do. Michael loved his mama, but him and his dad, all of them had an issue with their dad. And once you become strong, so let's put it like this. Once he's of age, he's old enough to take care of himself, make his own decisions, and Joe's still trying to be Joe, that's different. That's different. Joe was abusive. Now, we could say, you know what I'm saying? It's a thin line because it's just like Ike Turner, right? It's just like Ike Turner. I see you, Toy Toy. It's just like Ike Turner. Yes, we're going to say Tina benefited from Ike. Let's be honest. But at the end of the day, Ike Turner was a problem for Tina Turner, her personal life, her growth, right? Very abusive. He forced her to make music when she ain't want to. He forced her to sing. He did a lot of very, very abusive things, okay? Now, the thing with Joe, he did the exact same thing with them boys. That whole family was under Joe's thumb. And I know some of you give Joe a lot of grace and props and credit. I know you give Joe credit for making Michael into the man he is and making the Jacksons into the super group that they are. I know a lot of you say, okay, Joe may have had his issues, but imagine being Michael. Imagine being Michael. It's easy for us on the outside to say, well, Michael became a millionaire. Michael became the biggest star. Well, Michael became a lot of that after he got away from Joe. Let's just be honest. So, end of the day, the whole situation with Joe makes you think, yeah, he might not have been Michael, right? He might have been like one of the DeBarge kids or something. Might not have been as big as he is. But at the end of the day, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. He got abused, right? And a lot of us look at Michael, the standoffishness, the timidness, the shyness, and a lot of us say, "Oh, that's just Michael." Well, some of that is abuse. Some of that is his self-esteem, right? Some of that is his self-consciousness from being afraid of Joe. And I know that it could go either way. I know we can say, okay, think of the alternative. 5 black boys in Gary, Indiana, right? You hear Freddie Gibbs rapping all the time about all this cocaine, this, that, and the third. Well, that could have been them in the middle of that, right? So I get it. I see both sides all day on Twitter. And by this movie coming out, the topic is brought back to light. This thing with Joe Jackson is back in the public light. And we got to decide, okay, like we see now, when you see these videos of these moms going up to the school with the belt, it hits different now. Okay? It hits different now. When they go in that class, beat that kid in front of the class or beat them outside in the hallway and they tape it. I think one of the teachers just got a teacher of the year. Somebody filmed her. Somebody lined her up real good, gang. Somebody lined her up bad because they filmed her disciplining her son with a belt. And she's wailing on him, and that went viral. So it's different now that we know better, right? Listen, the lengths that Joe went to as a dad, I would have never went to. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't never beat my kids. No belt, nothing, none of that. Right? Yeah, they get in trouble, but I'm not beating you. You know what I mean? I'm not hitting you with shit and throwing and locking you in basements and shit, right? Okay. So as we got better, we learned to do better, right? My mom didn't do that to me. So I had the cycle wasn't there because I knew, okay, at the end of the day, that kid's going to grow up and remember all that. And Michael grew up and literally hated Joe. He hated Joe. Didn't want Joe around him. So you got to understand, like, yeah, let's just be honest. Yeah, he made them, for lack of a better word, he made them great with his discipline. But at the same time, would you want that on you? Michael told you he get humiliated, devastated in front of people openly by his dad, hit, right? Joe would contest that he never hit him, but that's not what it sounds like, right? It's not what it sounds like. And PNW, and it's not the first Jackson's movie to be made. Let's just be honest. They had a documentary back in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Remember that one? And they all have the same tone of Joe. Now, let me read what PNW said. In the movie, I felt like Mike's whippings. My dad gave me some of those. It was triggering. It doesn't matter how old you get, right? It doesn't matter how. One time, like my mom, she hit me one good time. I was little, like probably 8, 9. Like got me right in the nose, bow. But I was really messing up. Like I almost lost my life 100 times. I was one of them kids, okay? I got scars on my face right now for being a kid. Gang, I was one of them kids. I was in the hospital every other week because I would jump off shit. I had absolutely no fear. So my album cover, one of my album covers got me with no shirt on. I was just that kid. So you couldn't beat it out of me, this, that, and the third. So my mom got me one time, bow, got me a little nose bleeding, but I deserved what I was doing. I was trying to climb a tree. You know what I mean? So sometimes, yes, they're gonna get you one good time, bang, bang. But it wasn't no situation where I was getting beat, this, that, and the third. But I remember that one whap. I remember that like it was yesterday. Okay. So imagine getting that all the time. Imagine growing up as a man and that's all you remember your dad for. Now I understand. Again, we got to do the we got to understand too that he kept them boys. I know this is one of the saving grace for Joe. He kept them boys off the street, right? And as a strong black man, that's very hard. He wasn't single, but he was he was doing it with little to no resources and help. And he made them stay at home and practice and da da da. Made Michael, all of them got resources now to control their destiny. They're not out here drinking and smoking and da 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 da. Right? They're the Jacksons, world famous, world renowned because of Joe. So it's a thin line, it's touchy. We could say which way, you know what I mean? Let me see what Queen B said. Janet even said Joe was a tyrant. Joe was unhappy with his marriage to the mom and took a lot of that out on them. After she had Janet, she turned from the bedroom to religion big time. Now, Michael, I don't know if he spoke on Joe. He didn't really want to speak on Joe too much, right? But what we do know about Joe, and I think Jermaine and Tito and them, they're older than Michael, so they probably got way more stories about Joe, right? And I know a lot of people, even now, they're saying, listen, he had his back against the wall. He's in Gary, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Him and Catherine trying to raise these kids, right? Some people give all the credit to Joe. Some people say Michael needs to thank Joe. And I'm sure to a degree, he does thank Joe. I'm sure he does thank Joe to a degree, right? But at the end of the day, you got to understand everything you do to them kids gonna carry. Now you got Michael and Janet with all kind of issues, right? You're gonna say, but they're rich, they got money. They got a lot of issues too with their dad. I don't even know how Mike felt when his dad passed. So we got to understand that all of that discipline and keeping Michael focused and forward thinking, like I said, Michael became the Michael we know because he left his father. When he left his father, he became that guy. He got to off the wall Michael, this, that, and the third. But when he got there, he got with Quincy Jones. That wasn't because of Joe. Joe stopped a lot of things that probably would have advanced that whole situation, right? My dad gave me some of those, and I appreciate it. I understand better now. Tough love is not abuse. Okay, yeah, I get it. Tough love is one thing. But when they're forcing you to sing and dance, and if you don't sing and dance correctly, he's locking you in the basement. That's different, right? That's different. That's different. Iron Will said Joe passed after Mike. Okay, I think you're right. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I know Mike was really trying to get away from, he really, really went out of his way. I think if I'm not, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I think Michael didn't allow Joe in his home. I'm not 100%, but I think that Michael didn't allow Joe at his house. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, right? Demonstrating 33. So I don't blame Michael for getting out of there. Diego said they did amazing things, but also did some horrible things just the truth. And I've healed a lot, so God got me. Queen B said becoming famous from trauma is a hella mindset. That's why Michael didn't want his DNA replicated and adopted those kids. Those children are not biologically his. He got messed up like that. That's tough, gang. This is what I'm saying. So I know that we put a lot of on Joe Jackson. We say, listen, black man, just like Venus and Serena's father, we put a black man in America. We know what he up against. They're trying to destroy you. They're trying to keep you down. All of that is true. Right. But as we start to get old and we understand trauma, we start to realize maybe not the switch, maybe not the belt, You know what I'm saying? Maybe not, right? So we started to think of it in a different mindset. It's not that I don't think the ends always justify the means, knowing what we know now. Let's be honest. This is the 60s. So 60s, 70s, okay, different mind state, different time. Right? Now, somebody try to be Joe Jackson today, it ain't gonna be, I don't think that's gonna be a good idea. Right? Yeah, discipline your kids, but Joe Jackson was extra to the point all in. Look how many kids he had, right? How many kids they had? How many kids did Joe Jackson have? Joe Jackson. Come on, AI. I mean Google. He had 11 kids. He had 10 with his wife, Katherine Jackson, and one daughter with Cheryl Terrell. Maureen, Sigmund, Toriano, Jermaine, Latoya, Marlon, Brandon, Michael, Stevie, which is aka Randy, and Janet was the last one born in 66. And then he had a child in 74 during a long-term extramarital affair. So yeah, Joe Jackson, Joe Jackson got some, it is what it is. Joe Jackson got some skeletons in there. But gang, listen, you don't have a story of Michael without Joe. Michael Jackson's story is a triumph and a tragedy. Let's just be honest. It's a triumph and a tragedy, which is probably why everybody's like excited about seeing this movie. You know what? And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go watch it. And you know what? I might come back, and somebody put in my comments a couple days ago. I want to see that review from you about Michael. I might have to. I might have to do a special episode just talking about the movie. I don't know. Tiff said because Catherine told Joe if he ever put his hands on her kids again, she would do away with him. Oh man, is that in the movie? See, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. But Michael loved his mama. Did they have a falling out at the end? I don't remember. Did he have a falling out with Catherine? Something happened with him and Catherine too? I don't know. Yellow girl in the building. What did Yellow girl say? Hey guys, but didn't Mike have him by his side when he went through all his legal stuff? Let me see. I think his father was there, but I think Michael needed anybody. I think at that point, I think Michael needed everybody. I'm gonna be honest. You gotta think what Mike was facing. I think he'd take it all. Listen, was Joe Jackson at Michael's trial? Yes, Joe Jackson attended Michael Jackson's 2005 child molestation trial to support his son. He was frequently spotted at Santa Barbara County Superior Court, often walking in with Michael and maintaining his innocence. So he was a father when he needed to be. Joe Jackson was at his son's side most of the trial. Despite their complicated relationship, Joe publicly supported Michael, stating his belief in his innocence. It indicated that he was present during key moments in 2025. So Joe was at the trial. All right. Joe was at the trial. West Indian said Joe was the muscle. He damn sure was the muscle. Everybody needs some muscle, right? Like Suge was the muscle. So listen, it's a complicated situation. Michael, to me, is one of the greatest, right? If not the greatest. Michael, he borrowed from a lot of people and made it his own. A lot of people like to go back and say, well, Michael got this from there. Michael paid homage to a lot of things, right? Even the Billie Jean thing, somebody else created that. He recreated it. The whole dance, the whole thing, somebody else did it. A white guy did it. I think a British guy. And Michael recreated it in his own way. And voila, it became iconic after Michael did the moonwalk. Another guy, a breakdancing guy, dancing guy, made up the moonwalk and showed it to Michael, right? But I'm happy that Michael did that on that stage, that Motown 25 stage. Greatest moments of my life. I'm sitting there watching this thing, and this dude we waiting on Mike. He comes out, boom, bust the moonwalk. You can't, you can't even. I don't even know how to explain it to you. Seeing the moonwalk for the first time. Yeah, you can go look at it on YouTube, and I suggest you do. But to see that for the first time was mind shattering, gang. Mind shattering. We didn't even know what it was. We didn't know what he was doing. It was mind shattering. I'm just gonna be honest. So Michael, yes, he borrowed from James Brown. He loved James Brown. He said it. James Brown was one of his mentors, right? He was a little kid trying to emulate James Brown. That's what he was doing. So yes, he got going on. So listen, I am going to what the hell? I am going to go see Michael, right? I'm going to go see Michael. PNW. I didn't know that. Dang, the moonwalk isn't his. Well, it's not that the moonwalk isn't his. What it is another guy. He was a choreographer and a well-known breakdancer at the time, and he invented that moonwalk. Michael was learning new moves, and home he saw. I believe Michael saw him do it, and Michael learned. He showed Michael how to do it, and Michael brought it to the world. Then the whole world started doing it. So no, it's not his, but the way Michael did it was his own signature way, right? So when Michael did it, it became Michael's. And you're right, Diego, Little Richard too, all that stuff. So Michael took other people's things and made them great. Michael was a superstar, right? And okay, so like right here, it said he got James Brown his masters and Little Richard's master. Michael was righting a bunch of wrongs, and a lot of people in the industry got upset with Michael because he started getting enough money to buy these things and correct a lot of things. The music industry is a bunch of crooks, and they were paying people 6 cents off the dollar, stuff like that, holding their masters for the rest of their life. They had to make laws to make the masters revert back to the artists because these people were holding your masters until they died. They would pass them to their kids. You know what I mean? So it became a thing where they had to revert those masters. They give you 30. That's why Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt reverts back to Jay-Z in 30 years, all these different things. And some of these people get the chance to re-record it, right? It's a lot of these guys, they re-record the music and put it out again because then they could get paid directly, All right? So end of the day, man, listen, I ain't going to spend all this time on Mike because it take 2 hours just to talk Mike. We can talk Mike for 2 hours. But, gang, listen, I'm a huge Michael fan. I know wifey's she's listening. She's listening right now, and now it's official. We have to go watch this Michael thing. It is what it is. I'm going to go see Michael, man. Feel like it's just a moment in time. I do not want to just watch it in the house. I'm gonna come back and let y'all know what I think, gang. So I'm gonna move on to the next. This is a crazy gang. This week is wild, gang. And I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I don't normally talk about. And I'm gonna let you guys help me out on this one, right? This one right here. This is low-key crazy. And I'm gonna get you guys to help me out on what's going on with homeboy and sis. I mean, with sis and homeboy, right? I don't even know, gang. Y'all gonna have to help me out what's going on. I know what I've read. I know what I've seen. And I'm gonna depend on the chat for this one, gang. I'm gonna depend on the chat for this one. I'm gonna let you guys tell me because the first rumors was homeboy cheated. Now it's flipping. She cheated on him. Now it's they both cheated. Klay Thompson was in love, gang. Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion. For the people saying, who is he? Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion. I know somebody in the chat know what's going on with this. I don't even understand. Gang, listen. It's hip-hop, it's rap news. We got to talk about this. But your boy, I remember, I don't even think it was but 2 weeks ago, homeboy was all in love. I'm just going to be honest. Homeboy was all in love. I saw videos. I was like, how long this going to last? I'm like, homeboy low-key putting himself out there a little crazy. Like every video I saw this dude, he loved their food, he loved everything. I just silently watch the clips, just keep scrolling on Twitter. I'll watch the clip and just I say nothing because I'm like, I'm not, I don't know what's going on with these two. I'm just gonna wait and see what happened, gang. But it looked like homeboy was dead ass, right? Dead ass in love deeply. But it's starting to get spooky because allegedly homeboy out here doing this thing, right? Now, like I said, right? Let me read these comments. I told you I want the chat to tell me. Bing said she did not cheat. Don't fall for the bullshit. Let me see. Milano said Splooge brother Klay not having a good week. Gang, I'm gonna be honest. This guy looked like a whole full. What's a polite way to say like he was simping? I'm just gonna be honest. It looked crazy. I said, bro, letting himself get out of character right now. This was like a fucking like 6 months straight. I was like, bro, look. I said, how this gonna look when this don't work? Like if for whatever reason this don't work, how this gonna look? It's gonna look low key crazy. Yeah, homeboy look low key crazy. They ain't even got no real definition of what really happened, right? Let me see what's going on in this chat. I don't know, man. Y'all got the chat y'all just getting out of pocket right now. Y'all ain't even helping me. Who did what to who, right? Let me see, man. We just gonna have some fun. It's hip hop, gang. I don't have no choice but to report some of this shit, man. I stay away from it, but we live, gang. It's me and you, man. This us. We just talking our shit. Megan Thee Stallion leaves Moulin Rouge early amid the split between Klay Thompson. It's been a rough couple of days for Megan. Over the weekend, the FMC took to social media to reveal that she and Klay Thompson have gone separate ways. The two of them were an item for several months, but Meg alleges he was unfaithful on an Instagram story. So it's crazy, right? Because what's up with these ball players, gang? Right? What's up with homeboy that was with Khloe Kardashian? Homeboy, they just did a documentary on him. What's homeboy's name? He used to be on the show all the time, right? This man was getting his black girl experience on. Now he's sober. Okay, Sims, I see you. Let me see. Callie said, I don't listen to or follow Meg. Toy said he's an athlete, got caught with a WNBA player. That's what's going on. Y'all sure this ain't like trying to hype up the WNBA? Might be a little promotional stunt. Let me see what else going on. Queen said Kay was playing Meg better than he was basketball. She was genuine. He was using. I knew from day one. So why Klay always looked like he was simping though? I knew one day Meg needs to tie the knot. Meg needs to not though. Putting brothers in jail for nothing brings demon time on you. That relationship looked fake as hell, but no one wanted to agree with me. Now look at these two, well played. Megan Loki seemed hurt, gang. So I don't know. Let me see. This all feels like it's none of my biz. You right? Well, it doesn't matter how. It is none of our biz, but at the same time, they put this out there almost daily, so it became everybody's business. Hype up the NWNBA. I'm crying. Salute. They need it, gang. Miss Curiosity said Klay fumbled the bag. I think Klay got money. I'm gonna be honest. I think Klay low-key, he gonna be all right. I think Klay gonna be all right. All right, Melonator said, I think it was FD Signifier that said, good luck finding a faithful ball player. And shit. Listen, what was homeboy's name that used to be with Chloe? God damn. Lamar Odom, right? And what's the other homeboy that used to be with the other sister? God damn, this nigga was a menace. What's this dude's name? Shit, hold up. Nah, I ain't never seen. The only dude I'll last him is Ray J. We're gonna get to Ray J in a minute. Ray J said something crazy, gang. Ray J said something real crazy today. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna get to Ray J in a minute, but what's homeboy that used to be with the other Kardashian sister and they got kids? Or was it the same one? Was it the same one? Was she with both of them? Homeboy that got she caught him cheating like 5 times and he just keep doing it. What's homeboy's name? Hold on. Okay. So we got Lamar Odom. It's not him. It's the one after him. Homeboy, like, Every time he get caught, he just be like, "Oh man, my bad," and he make her pregnant again. Hold on, we gonna get this. We gonna get this name because I can't think of homeboy's name. Shit, bad funny though. Hold up. How do I even search? Baby mother. I don't know Bama's name. Salute to all my DMVP. Tristan Thompson. All right, so yeah, man. There you go. The chat got me. Tristan Thompson. Yeah, homeboy's a menace. Like, depending on how you look at things, homeboy like a legend. If you look at it a certain kind of way, right? Homeboy is a complete menace. So you got to think, these basketball players keep getting these high profile these high profile female or women, right? The women keep getting these high profile basketball players. Has any of this shit worked? Like, has it ever, like, is there successful, like who? Like Jordan and Jordan and like Michael and Cookie? Jordan and what's Jordan's wife's name? Who's the successful play? Jordan, LeBron, like who's the successful go-to Kobe? Like, what we doing? Like, who's the successful basketball relationship that we could say, okay, that's okay, it could be done, right? Like, shit, my guy, even my guy Curry shit on the bubble. Like, this chick always every other week, Steph Curry wife saying some crazy shit. Like, she want to be out here. Like, what, sis? What's going on, sis? You want to be? It sounds like Steph Curry wife low key want to be out here. I'm be honest. So I don't know, man. Aisha Curry, Aisha and Steph, right? That's, I guess that could say that one worked, but every time I turn around, she's showing buyer's remorse. I'm be honest. Like, let's be honest. She low-key showing buyer's remorse every time you turn around. Right? Miss Curiosity said LeBron and Savannah. Yeah, but if you ask the Bubble Bad Rappers fans, they say not so fast, right? Let them tell it. Drake fans, LeBron and Savannah, not so fast. Slow down. It's crazy though. In a simple fact, listen, I don't know. Maybe it's like let's just be honest. If it's me, I would be like just prepared. I would be waiting for the shit to crash and burn. Like it's like Cardi being Offset. Like, you just wait. Like, just before we say and do too much, let's just wait. let's just see how things play out, gang. It's almost destined. Now, here's another one. So I don't know. It's been a crazy week because they were there together for a while, and I'm telling you, bro, looked like he straight was simping. Didn't work out. Now, this one right here, this next one, it is what it is. I'm just here to report the news. Like I told you, it's a crazy week. This next one, I'm gonna be Vlad for this one because listen, I know this is what this live is for. This is what this live is for. To talk shit, right? This next one. I don't know if y'all heard what Vlad said, right? But we're just talking. This next one is wilder than that one. Because how many years now, if what Vlad is saying is true, and they're going crazy online right now. They're going crazy online right now. Salute. I see people jumping in the chat. But Vlad says something, and it's going to be difficult to not be true. And again, like I said about, we talking rappers, right? Megan's a rapper, so we talking about her. This rapper right here, we gonna talk about her too, because she missed the correspondence dinner because she was late, right? Was there a shooting there at the correspondence dinner, the Trump dinner? She missed that because she was late, right? You know how we do. We be late to shit. Your girl Nicki was late, right? So she missed the shooter by a matter of minutes, right? Now, end of the day, right? She missed the dinner. She marked herself as safe, right? But Vlad came out with something that may be true. And if this is true, this is wild. Vlad literally said that he checked the registry. He checked the registry, the offender's registry, and homeboy changed his address. He's at a different address somewhere in Queens. Homeboy is not living at the mansion no more. Homeboy is living at a small, teeny house. Wouldn't that be wild after all this shit? Allegedly, right? Allegedly, this rap relationship is on hold because allegedly something went down with homeboy and some other woman. Now, this is what they saying. So, end of the day, I don't know, but that's what Vlad exposed online. They going nuts out here. It's a crazy week. So allegedly, homeboy is kicked out and living somewhere in Queens because the address on the registry got to match where you are. You can't change the address on the registry if you're not there. They put your ass back in prison. You got to say where you literally live. So now they're saying that homeboy got kicked out. It's crazy, gang. So imagine all that. Ain't that what that lawsuit is about? Homeboy beat up the security guard over there overseas and they suing him and her. Well, at her behest, allegedly. So imagine all that lawsuit and all this drama, all this shit for all these years, only to end up with homeboy kicked out, living in Queens. I'm gonna let the chat tell me. I don't know. You right, PNW. Vlad is nosy. Vlad get paid to be nosy. And we're gonna talk about Vlad too. And I'm gonna get to Ray J saying he banged 12,000 women. Ray J said he had sex with 12,000 women. Gang, this week is ridiculous. It's crazy. Okay. He said 12,500 women that he had sex with. That's what Ray J said. We're gonna get to him in a minute. But Vlad dug up this whole situation saying that he on the registry and he changed his address. Now imagine all of this. You know how much this person had to endure online, all the attacks for this guy to only kick him out in 2026. Like it's absolutely crazy. And only Vlad, who would look for that? You're right, PNW. Who would look for that? Let's just be honest. Who would look for that? And listen, and you're right, Miss Curiosity. Listen, you're absolutely right. Down bad is an understatement. Down bad is an understatement. You got to think. Allegedly, homeboy wasn't playing too fair with them credit cards either. We don't know. So end of the day, it's a whole lot going on. Now you're running over there to Trump of all places, trying to grift. And I tell you, that grift gonna last for a little bit. That grift gonna last for a little bit, right? But them Trump people do not follow suit. Kid Rock tried to do a tour, and the dude couldn't even sell 200 tickets. He had to cancel the tour. But he been grifting Trump for about 3 years now or more. Few years. So that grift works for a little bit, just like that rapper, that Trump rapper, the MAGA rapper, what's his name? Forgiano, something like that. That grift only gonna last for so long, right? It don't last that long. They don't follow through, right? Salute to a lot of Chrisette Michelle learned that, right? A lot of people learned that. Okay, you may go over there and get your bag real quick, but it's tough to come back. Only one really came back. Let's be honest. We let Snoop come back. He ain't really back, but he's still making his money. But everybody else that step over that and go in there and get that little bag, they don't really make it back like they were. They don't really make it back like they were. And then they start apologizing for it instead of standing on it. It is what it is. So that's where we are with that. Now, the simple fact of the matter is, right? Vlad been on a mission. And we're gonna talk about Vlad, right? We're gonna talk about Vlad. Because I'm seeing a pattern with Vlad lately, gang. Where this thing with Vlad, okay? This thing with Vlad right now. And he had a lot of business with Aries Spears. But this thing with Vlad, Boosie, Aries Spears, I want to talk about this. I'm trying to get a picture up of them together. But I want to talk about Vlad because I feel like Vlad's starting to feel itself to a degree where it's getting a little bit, okay, Vlad, you're almost becoming disloyal, right? Vlad is becoming disloyal because okay, we understood the Boosie thing, right? But let's take a trip. Let's take a trip down and figure out what's going on with Vlad. I don't have one with them together, so one that I can use. So I'm gonna just throw anyone up in case y'all under any delusion about Vlad and Aries Spears. Let me get a picture of these two fools. But I get it. Aries Spears is a tough swallow anyway, right? Tough sell. But I don't think that Vlad was fair to Aries Spears. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. But Aries Spears and Vlad's fallout came quick. Right? Aries Spears and Vlad's fallout came very, very quick. And what I'm seeing with them is two guys that came off as they were cool, right? For years. They came off as cool for years. And let me get this picture up here real quick. They came off as cool for years. And what happened, in my opinion, the relationship became one-sided when Vlad realized, well, he heard that Aries Spears was pretty much saying that he wanted a raise after Boosie asked for a raise and didn't get it. But I think what's going on with Aries Spears, I'm going to be honest. I think Vlad was lowballing Aries Spears so dramatically because if Aries Spears was making anything close to what Boosie was making, he wouldn't even ask him. But I think Aries Spears probably get 5 G's a show, maybe 10 tops, maybe 10, because he's been on there so long, he probably getting the old rates. He been on there when Vlad wasn't paying for interviews. So Vlad reluctantly started paying for interviews. He didn't even want to pay these guys. Vlad went out of his way. He used to argue and fight. Do y'all remember when Vlad used to openly argue? There was a discussion on Twitter, a very heated discussion. Vlad openly refused to pay for interviews. And there were all these tweets coming down. This is the problem with Vlad, boycott Vlad. This is why they want to use you for it. And it was a really big discussion. And Vlad was like, no one pays for interviews. Newscasters don't pay you for your interview. Journalists don't pay. So Vlad had the argument for years. And what happened was people like Sean Cotton and others came along and started to pay. And people started, Charleston White, this different people started being like, why would I sit down with Vlad for free? It was like the Super Bowl. They looked at it like, you get more from me than I get from you. But that changed because people started paying to get interviews. Then Vlad would give you like $300, this, that, and the third, because we remember him saying Dame Dash interview, he was offering him $300 and Dame Dash did it or something like that. Dame Dash wanted the $300. I don't know what it was. So we learned that Vlad was giving you $300, right? For your time and shit. But then Vlad reluctantly caved in and started paying. And that's when he probably offered Aries 5K. Aries being on, so, oh shit, I get paid to do it. So Aries just took it for years. Took the little 5K, da-da-da. Now, we know Boosie got a hustler's mentality. And Boosie gonna be like, yeah, I low-key can't keep coming here, Vlad, for nothing. I need a bag. I make you a lot of money. So Vlad pays him accordingly, right? So now we're at a point where now Vlad got the upper hand. We just saw Lord Jamar go back there. I did a video on Lord Jamar. I said Lord Jamar cannot be trusted. We can't trust Lord Jamar no more because Lord Jamar was adamant about not going back to Vlad. Lord Jamar was one of the most aggressive people to get people not to go to Vlad no more. Then out of nowhere, your boy Lord Jamar turned the corner right after the flat of the box. But we know why Lord Jamar went back. Lord Jamar needed the bag. Lord Jamar podcast is first of all, the podcast was always awful, right? But it just got worse and worse. He went MAGA, right? He went anti-Kendrick. He went MAGA. He went pro anything other than K. Dot. Started hating on everything. He called who was it? Was it Michelle Obama? Oh no. He called what's her name? Kamala Harris, called her straight up bitch. Like just so Lord Jamar started to lose his fan base. Right? The podcast was already awful. It was already awful. But people stuck with it because it was Lord Jamar. As he started to show all these sides and expose himself to this, that, and the third, people started to not watch. They started to leave it in droves. Lord Jamar started to hit a wall where it was like, I need to get money. I'm just going to be honest. So Lord Jamar was pretty much forced back to Vlad, but he tried to make it look cool. Like, remember he wore them, what they call them, the Mexican, the Mexican Air Force Ones or whatever he had on. Was it Air Force Ones or Mexican Jordans, right? Everybody's cracking on his Jordans because he bought the Jordans that you get. They come with a shoestring tied together, some shit like that. I don't know what it was, but end of the day, he went back on Vlad, turned on everything that he ever said because he had said that Homeboy was going to go back first, right? He said that what's Homeboy's name? Godfrey. He said that Godfrey would go back first, right? He said that it would be Godfrey, it wouldn't be him, and he went back, and Godfrey was like, "You a traitor, right?" I actually thought that. I thought if anybody was going to go back and make up with Vlad, it was going to be Godfrey. But Godfrey still stood on business, 10 toes down. I knew all that shit. I never really bought into Lord Jamar. Let me be honest. I never bought into him. But he just got worse and worse and worse, right? What love? He said, Challz, it's Boosie, not Boosie. I'm from DC, right? We don't pronounce our Z's all the way. It's certain letters of the alphabet. We don't pronounce them all the way. It just is what it is. I'm doing my best, but yeah, Boosie. I do pronounce my Z's with a C, right? It is what it is. But but Godfrey didn't go back to Godfrey didn't go back. Lord Jamar did, but he did it for the money. Lord Jamar got cooked in that flat earthers thing, right? It just moved me today to talk about the flat earthers thing on Twitter. He got cooked in the flat earthers thing. Salute to Professor Dave, cooked the absolute shit out of Lord Jamar, right? And that was the worst beating of his life. And he turned on everybody, turned on Godfrey, everybody, because he took that beating because he's dumb, right? So I said Lord Jamar is now a D-list supervillain, right? At this point. So he needed a way back into the spaces. So he went back to Vlad. I don't think it went that well because he only went that one time. He ain't been back. You know what I'm saying? So he got the numbers, this, that, third. They explained why he went there. He got his numbers because everybody's like, yo, what the hell? But we called him a traitor and a liar, right? And a fraud. So he came out and was like, I don't care what you call me. I did what I wanted to do, da-da-da-da. So end of the day, Lord Jamar ran back for the money. So everybody's getting paid, right? Everybody's getting paid. And this guy wanted to get a little bit more. Aries says, I am one of the last people on here that still comes up here, right? You lost Boosie, right? You lost you lost Lord Jamar, who eventually came back. You lost Lord Jamar, you lost Godfrey, you lost a couple other people that he lost. I'm the last one. Aries asking for a raise. He declined it, and then Homeboy went and told it on the podcast. Now, when he told it on the podcast, right, Vlad took offense, which I kind of felt that he would, even though we're supposed to be friends. Aries wasn't disrespectful to Vlad. I was like, oh, this is gonna go bad because Vlad ego. I said Vlad don't need Aries like he need Boosie, and he didn't even pay Boosie, so he definitely ain't gonna pay you. So Vlad took that moment and kind of went at him and took it personal. So now him and Aries, now they back and forth. Aries got a new video out trashing Vlad, this, that, and the third, right? So let me just say this. I feel like Vlad right now is on an ego. He got he's on a ego trip. Because what we've seen with Vlad, let's just be honest, if we're going to really be honest about this last shit, Vlad TV is not going anywhere. because it's somebody else going to interview. He's going to get another person. Da, da, da. He gets these gangsters. He gets these mobsters. He gets these old actors who people want to hear from. And people like my guy from the Boondocks, right? A dad from the Boondocks. I can't remember his name right now, but he's legend, right? And believe it or not, nobody told his story before. Vlad did get him and sit him down. Pops from Boondocks, right? His name will come to me. Somebody will tell me. But he sat down with him and did his life story. So he gets people that we really care about in this culture, and he'll sit them down. And let's be honest, other people won't do it. Other our platforms, if the person ain't got some salacious shit to talk about, they won't sit him down. But Vlad will sit him down, right? Da da da. So end of the day, he knows he ain't going nowhere because it's an abundance of people in the culture that he can call and have them come in, and we're gonna be right there, right? Lunel, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like Michael Jai White, and they be these are people that's interested in our culture. It is what it is. So he know he's not going nowhere. Every time we try to cancel him, he go and get somebody else we like. Oh shit, this is such and such from Minute to Society. Remember that scene? That then we're like, oh fuck, I gotta watch the shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's culturally important people. He what's the homeboy my guy fucking almost died in COVID. What's this guy? Can't remember his name, but oh yeah, John Witherspoon, the GOAT, right? John Witherspoon. Salute Dick, salute D Rick and West Indian and Tip Tip. John Witherspoon. So he'll get these culturally important people. He knows how to push the button, get us right back over there. Like, oh, fuck, I gotta watch the shit down. I did want to hear the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like DL Hughley, Tip. She's right. DL Hughley. So that's the other guy. So he gets these culturally relatable people, and he knows you're not. He knows you're gonna. It's like a car wreck. You're gonna hit it. You're gonna click it. Da da da. Right. And he knows that. So he could tell Aries to get out of here, kick rocks, and diss him on the way out. So now he's talking crazy to Aries. Now he's talking crazy to Aries when he clearly told Aries that he's a friend, and now he's telling people me and Aries ain't friends. So he's flipping on him. I think it's disloyal and disrespectful. I'm just gonna be honest. But he knows Aries not going to make or break the show. Yeah, we go over there for Aries and his stretched out shirts, this, that, and the third, and his goofy looking ass like raccoon face, but whatever. Right? He knows he's going to go viral when the Aries talk about Ice Cube, this, that, and the third, which I had a problem with Aries talking about Ice Cube. Just going to be honest. Like, but most of Aries takes I got a problem with. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be honest. So I did a whole video on Aries, I think it was last year, where I said Aries is that one guy we all love to hate, that old head we love to hate. And he is. But at the same time, it's not right to dispose of the guy when Vlad was going through a lot of controversy at one point. Around that time where he said what he said about Farrakhan, there was a lot of heat to cancel Vlad. And Aries kept going. Right? Aries went up there for whatever. So it is what it is. And let's be honest, DL Hughley kept going. A lot of people kept going. So it is what it is. So I think Vlad needs to show it's like it's no loyalty. It's like once I run the numbers and I don't need you no more, I'm all set. So it's like, come on, Vlad. Like, come on, Vlad. You're not showing loyalty to people who's showing loyalty to you. And that's a problem to me. I felt that when I saw him coming out of when I saw this thing coming out where he was going to be kind of disrespectful to Aries, and regardless of, I've been on record that Aries annoys the shit out of me. I'm going to be honest. But one thing that I don't like even more than somebody that's annoying as F to me is disloyalty. I don't care what it is, right? And even like the game is loyal to Drake. I got it in a backwards way. I got to respect it. I just respect loyalty, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Now, to me, it's like, even if you on the other side, be loyal. Be loyal, okay? So to me, I feel like Vlad is showing disloyalty, and I just can't personally jack with it. Pay that man or don't, but don't come out and say you wasn't friends with him. All right. Let me continue, man. It's so much going on. It's so much going on, man. It's so much going on. The other thing going on, gang. I told you we're gonna talk about Ray J. And I'm gonna ask you ladies. A question. Is this what y'all want, man? Is this what's going on? Ray J literally, this is all in the 1 week of hip hop. Y'all can say Ray J hip hop or not hip hop. I'll leave that up to you. Ray J do got some classic records in this business, gang. But I'm gonna leave that up to you. But what I do want to talk about, Ray J just said that he has hit 12,000 500 women that he has slept with. He said he knows that because when he hit 10,000 women, he had a party. And he said, I think he said 500 of the women came to the event. Gang, you have to understand. And I get it. As a kid, that was legendary. Do you remember? To me, it's disgusting. I'm a grown man, though. It's disgusting. Now, as a kid, gang, back in the day, numbers, gang. We was trying to get bodies. Let's just be honest. Now, we're talking 10, 20. We're trying to get. How do you get 10,000 people to lay down with you? And why do you want to? This is what's out here, ladies. Remember that? Y'all imagine this. Now, I don't know what. Okay, right around the time when things first started going viral, this is around MySpace, and you guys will know better than me what happened, right? I just pulled up that I found that whole bathing ape, and that guy that was a bathing ape that was going around throwing people's Supremes hats off their head and knocking them off. So it's old shit. It's around that time. But it's before this. Right before that guy was knocking just a Supreme, I'm an ape, knocking people hat off. I just posted that video on my Twitter. 100,000 people remember this guy, right? He went to jail. YW bait or some shit. But it's that time. It's before that. When shit started going viral, there was a young black kid that went viral. And I think he said he had 3,000 women. I don't know if you guys remember that, but this is a real story. That dude said, this is when it first started going. It was a story because it was that the young kids were trying to outdo that. It became where we're trying to have thousands of bodies. That became an actual viral thing that young guys were trying to do. They were trying to get to 1,000 and 2,000 and 3. And this guy was like at over 3,000 plus, according to him. Now, a lot of people were saying he was lying, this, that, and the third. But he had to have a lot to even have that lie in his head. Now, think about it. A lot of the women knew that he was doing this, right? And just to be honest, let's be honest, gang. To be a part of this as a woman, you got to kind of feel a way. You got to kind of feel like that's a guy that is doing it. If it's like, if you could just feel a vibe, gang, I'm going to be honest. Ladies, you can't tell me that you can't feel a guy that's just here for that. So you had to participate. You low-key are part of the problem. Okay? Yeah, Sticky, you right. That babe guy got life in prison. He's fighting an appeal, though. I put that video on my thing. Mad Heads came and like, yo, I remember this guy, but he's a clown, this, that, and the third. I hadn't even knew about the guy till yesterday when I retweeted the day before. But that bathing ape guy, yeah, he got in prison for murder for hire plot. 12,000. Does he mean strokes or chokes? We don't know what he mean. We don't know what he mean, right? And Sims, you right, saying you betted 12,000 women like it's a flex. Ray J is weird, gang. I've never seen. I don't know what's going on with Ray J. Didn't a couple months ago he had blood coming out his eyes, saying he only had a few weeks to live. Y'all told me it was a stunt. I can't say for sure if it is a stunt or not. But y'all told me Ray J wasn't being honest. So we don't know yet. If Ray J messed around and passed away, then I'm gonna look stupid saying it was a stunt. So I don't want to end up in that situation. I don't know if Ray J only got a few months to live, but I know Ray J been acting real crazy lately. Salute the girly jock in the super chat. Ray J comments on bestiality and non-consensual sex was the worst. He is sickening. Ray J has done a lot of sick, and y'all just heard that he went off on was it Fab and them where he told them it was somebody he was mad about their podcast last week, I think it was a week and a half ago or whatever, that when he catch him, he was going to put this and that and the third into their rear, like on some weird, like he was going to pin him down, all this crazy. It was like, Ray J, so homeboy Cam Newton had him on the show, and Cam was like, Ray J, let's talk about this. Like, He said, Ray J, are you gay? He was like, gang, you asked me that last time I was here. I told you, I'm not. And Cam Newton was like, yeah, but something has happened since you've been here. He said, Cam Newton was like, since you've been here, you've said some more stuff that I have to ask you again. Okay. And Ray J went and mumbled and Ray J did some crazy stuff on his live stream, and he went in his pants on his live stream. Gang, I don't even follow this, and I be seeing this stuff on my timeline. I'm like, Ray J tapped up here, gang. But that's the thing, where we got Ray J thinking that it's okay to actually say that you've been with 12,000 women. It is insanity to me. So, ladies, I'm just here asking for a friend. It's water in my cup. Asking for a friend, ladies. Is this what y'all want? This what's going on, Ray J? Because I don't know. It's hard to say what ladies want more, gang. Let's just be honest. I'm not looking, but guys are still out here. They need answers. Do y'all want him? Do y'all want to do running through this, that, and the third? Right? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But let me just shout out homeboy that's on life support. Homeboy from the movie Menace, man. Right? Homeboy from the movie Menace is on life support. I want to say prayers up to Samuel Monroe. He's the guy in Menace. I'm gonna show a picture of him, but they got better. This picture don't represent him well, because I know there are better pictures. I'm gonna get a better picture in a minute. But I want to say prayers up to Samuel Monroe Jr., who is in Menace to Society. You remember in Menace where the guy was running across the street and he looking both ways and everybody was laughing? It's the funniest. It's one of the funniest scenes in Menace to Society, right? Homeboy is in he's on life support. Let me get a better picture, because you can't really tell. Let me get a better picture, homeboy. But prayers up to my guy. I don't know much about what's going on. And I don't know him as a person. I'm just saying. That picture, you can't. I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm trying to get a good picture. But he's in Menace. He's the one, I believe he's the one that ends up shooting. He ends up shooting. He shoot at Doughboy. And what's homeboy's name in Menace? Doughboy is Jada Pinkett. It's Doughboy, and is it Trey? Is it Trey? I think it's Trey. Oh, he in Players Club too. Prayers up, man. Listen. Prayers up to Samuel Monroe. He's fighting for his life. And I just had a couple days ago, a friend of mine. This is how it came to me. Yo, big youngin' in the hospital. Prayers up. A couple hours later, big youngin' is passed on. That's how fast it happened. Salute to my homeboy, my man. Listen, me and this kid, big youngin', aka Sean. That's my guy. I used to literally, like, as a kid, I used to protect him on the block. Like, my guy shot. He just passed away two nights ago. I don't know from what, but end of the day, that's how fast it is. I used to protect him on the block because they used to bother him, and I said, "That's my cousin." He wasn't my cousin. I said, "That's my cousin. All that picking on him is done," and he wasn't picked on no more. Okay, that's how far back me and Big Youngin go. Okay, so end of the day, salute to salute. First of all, rest in peace to my guy Big Youngin, and prayers up to Samuel Monroe. Right. Let me see what's going on. Prayers for a speedy recovery. They said he was in Set It Off, according to Ill Will. He's in Set It Off. He's in Boys in the Hood. Oh, he's in Tales from the Hood too. He was in a lot of things in the 90s, right? He's in Tales from the Hood. He's in Tales from the Hood. And Players Club. So you guys know who I'm talking about. Now y'all remember when he ran across the street in Menace, it was the whole theater would burst out laughing every time. And he reminds me, I'm gonna be honest, he reminds me of the game, the rapper, the game. He reminds me of the rapper, the game. I'm just gonna be honest. He seemed like he was the game before the game came out. Just gonna be honest. So prayers Samuel Monroe on a fast, speedy recovery. Okay. Now this story right here, there's a lot going on, and I agree. I agree with this next story because Charlemagne is telling Charlemagne the God is telling your boy Drizzy not to rehash the battle. He told Drake on this album, don't bring up Dot. Right? It's dropping May 15th. And he said, ain't no circling the block. Just go ahead and make your records for the club. Make your records for the ladies. Keep it moving. Nobody want to see you circle the block. You lost. Right? He's still Drake, but you still Drake, but you lost a rap battle. Let's keep it moving. The only person that made this situation worse was you. Charlemagne got a point. I appreciate you guys' condolences to Big Youngin. That's my guy. Charlemagne got a point, right? I feel like it shouldn't be a lot of back and forth about Dot on this Drake album. Shouldn't be hearing a lot of that, but we probably will get that. I think that's going to help it sell. It's going to propel it to actually move some units. I'm just going to be honest. So I think that's what's going to be going on, right? I think that's going to be a big factor in that rollout. Even I think the magazine already has stuff that's alluding to it. They put out a magazine with all these allegedly with all these different pictures of events, and one of the pictures is Dr. Dre with Lucian Grange high-fiving when I believe Not Like Us won either a Grammy or something. They won something, iHeartMedia Award, something. So that's what is looking like, still focusing on that. I don't think that's what people want to hear. I think that's going to be where this thing goes left. And I think that Charlemagne has a point, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. And we still going to see if Charlemagne's right about that Netflix move, because a lot of us ain't going over to no goddamn on Netflix. Okay? So we're going to see what's going on. We've seen them, let's just be honest, we've seen them pump out there. They've been pumping out their clips at a very high level over there at the Breakfast Club. For a while there, they couldn't put out a clip more than 4 minutes. Now they've made them longer, right? They made them up to 13 minutes and this, that, and the third. They realized all that putting out a couple clips at 4 minutes each ain't gonna work. So now you go on their YouTube and the interview clips are a little bit longer, right? So now they're trying to make a run at it because they realize that Netflix thing gonna be a slow grind that may not get a chance to get off the ground, because you gotta think how fast the Breakfast Club, every single day they got a new one. So by the time you go on your Netflix, and the show don't come on in the morning, it comes on, they got to process it and do it and then put it up. By the time you watch it, half that stuff is old. So then they got another one coming out the very next morning. It's not going to be what they thought. It's not going to be what they thought, right? And Karen, right, he's a clown suing and dissing. That's part of the process that's going to keep him in the zeitgeist. But he needs to just make his, I said a couple weeks ago that it needs to be, that Drake record got to be records that are going to move the needle as far as hits. You don't need a lot of you need to get back to business. Like Charlamagne said, need to make the ladies love. Need to make them ladies love records, make them club records. Homeboy Ben Adon told him take the club records off and take off the ladies records and put more bars. That's not going to work in this situation because the people that want to hit bars, they that want to hear them bars, they've already decided. They've already decided. They're not going to come back around because all of a sudden you're spitting bars. They're going to be like, who wrote that and who cares? So you need to make stuff for your fans. You need to make the Drake with the melodies type shit. All right. And what else did I say we was going to get to? I said we was going to get to something. Something else I said I was going to get to. But this is what I want to talk about right here. And I made a video about this on my Patreon. And this one too, gang. This one too is touchy. This one is touchy too. And I'm gonna let you guys vent in the comments. This one right here, believe it or not, may be the most topic I have discussed in a very long time, but it's low-key touchy. It's low-key touchy because some of you feel very strongly about this because you put your own sensibilities on this, right? You put your own sensibilities on this Gucci Mane situation. Now, I just read yesterday, and let me know if it's getting any lag or something crazy. Hopefully we looking good, right? But I just read yesterday that Gucci Mane's artist put up a no snitching post, right? Now, let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation because that's Gucci Mane's artist. And he is supposed to be still signed to Gucci Mane, Fujiano, right? Now, this topic is touchy. Believe it or not, gang. Believe it or not, I've learned that this topic is touchy because a lot of you look at Gucci Mane as a businessman now. And by doing such, you've given him a pass for snitching. Now, what has happened, gang? What has happened is Gucci Mane's artist, Fujiano, posted some anti-snitching stuff, which is a slap in the face if you're going to be. And the reason that is a slap in the face is because Gucci Mane is being accused of snitching, right? He's being accused of snitching on Pooh Shiesty. Now, the reason this is touchy, because a lot of you say, Challz, he's supposed to tell what happened. He's a businessman. Pooh Shiesty robbed him. That's his artist. He robbed him, put him under duress, made him sign a contract. And what happened in that room was against the law, and Gucci Mane has every right to tell his story. I for one, that street stuff to me, I was out there, I lived in them streets, I always knew that it was a nowhere situation. I'll be the first to tell you that it's a nowhere game. I learned very early, 18, 20, 23. I learned very early out on that block, living that life. Challz, this ain't what you want to do. This ain't where you want to be. Don't be no drug. Everybody got a chance to be a big drug dealer, kingpin, dundada. Everybody out there. You know what you got to do. You got to do things a certain way. You got to be more ruthless than the next man. I was like, Challz, you don't want to be none of that. So as you work your way off of this block, you're going to work your way into professionalism. You're going to be a stand-up citizen. This ain't it. And I saw a lot of people go to prison, jail, death, hardship addiction, this, that, and the third, trying to live that life. So under no circumstances would I glorify that. Yes, you're going to tell your story in your raps. Some of your raps are going to be hard. They're going to be street orientated, this, that, and the third. I've done it. A lot of people done it and still do it. But at the same time, you're also going to have other stories to tell, and you're also going to show and prove yourself to be a businessman and a business minded person. Now, when we get in our 30s and 40s and we're still saying stuff like I'll never cooperate, I'll never snitch, this, that, and the third, you're actually sending a message, right? You're sending a message, right? Girly Jock, I do not hate Gucci. I do not hate Gucci. I do not hate Gucci. I don't barely know Gucci, don't know him at all, right? But I do understand his message and what he meant. And my whole thing with the Gucci thing, like I said, is very touchy, right? And yes, Queen Bee's let all of us supposed to tell, right? All of us supposed to tell if we're law-abiding citizens and we get stuck up in the parking lot or we get stuck up in our home, people home invade, you're supposed to tell your story. Okay? This Gucci thing is touchy because Gucci went years saying, I'm not a snitch, I am a G. So when people from the streets hear that, they believe you. And if you perpetuated that myth, and a lot of people, a lot of rappers are hurt, finesse 2 times and others, they were like, you had us crashing out. Because you got to think Gucci been around for 20 years. So he spoke to a lot of kids. So you had a lot of young people crashing out. So this is why people say, Gucci, we are disappointed in you. And a lot of people are saying, you're a rat. Because even in his 40s, Gucci was like, I don't rock with no rats. I don't rock with no snitches. I'd rather get taken off a song if you put me on a song with a snitch. He was saying that, right? And on my Twitter, somebody went into my comments and said that they posted an interview of Gucci talking to Charlamagne, saying, Charlamagne said, do you regret your things? They got me with a gotcha. He's trying to give me with a gotcha moment. He said, respectfully, OG, shut the F up because you don't know what you're talking about. You should have researched this better. He put the interview clip of Charlamagne talking to Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane saying, yes, I do regret what I've done back in my past. I regret it, da-da-da-da-da. And if I could change it, I would. So he was like, Charles, you're not acknowledging that Gucci has apologized for his past ways. He apologized for his verses, this, that, and the third. You got to understand what you're talking about before you put these posts up. And in that interview with Charlamagne, he did say, okay, I regret it. And in my mind clicked, I said, well, wait, ain't that the same interview where he called Angela Yee a punk ass bitch? And ain't that the same interview that he said he gonna slap DJ Envy when he sees him? Gucci's 46. At the time of that interview, he was probably 40 because it happened in 2019. So he's 39 going on 40. And the thing that the guy that tried to sun me in that tried to sun me in the video, that clip of Gucci, he didn't know that in that same interview, Gucci went off, called Angela Lee a punk ass bitch, and he slapped Envy. But what he also didn't know in that video clip that he tried to sun me with is that video clip was in 2019. The verses was about 2 years after that, where he stood up and tried to bait Jeezy to get mad so he could literally probably try to smoke him right there. He did that at like 41, 42. So that was after the interview where he said he regrets what he did in his past. So what I'm saying is this: where did the growth happen? Right? Just like with J. Cole, I'm bringing this up, where he made a 7-minute drill and then literally 2 days later apologized, and everybody's like, he grew. It was such growth that he made. I'm like, where did the growth? 2 days? So the thing with Gucci, the same thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, he's a businessman, but he's a businessman that carried himself as a card-carrying gangster. So, end of the day, right? And that's the thing, Girly Jock, you're supposed to tell. Us citizens, we're civilians, we're supposed to tell, right? So, end of the day, we're supposed to tell. But my whole thing is, if you were saying, I'm not that, I'm a G. He said that as little as a couple months ago. I'm a G. I don't snitch, da. We just saying you're allowed to tell, but we're allowed to react to you telling. when you have carried yourself as a guy that would never do this. It is what it is. And I know this thing is touchy, right? I know this thing is touchy, and a lot of people they put their own, your civilians put in your sensibilities, but we can't make gangsters into civilians because they get something bad happen to them. Gucci used to rob people himself. You can't be a civilian out of nowhere because you got robbed. Now you're a civilian and everybody gonna know. Imagine watching movies, gang, where the bad guy, soon as all the bad shit that he does, soon as it happened to him, all of a sudden now he's allowed to become a civilian and do the same thing that the hero does because something bad happened to him. What are we talking about, gang? Okay? And it ain't that we want him to crash out. It's that we want to remind him of all the carnage and shit he said he was really about. It's just a little reminder, gang. Tap on the cheek. That's it. That's all. The next thing I want to talk about is this David guy. David guy. It is funny because this was funny about this David guy, right? This is what's funny about this David guy. Took him forever to even get arrested, right? It took him forever to even get arrested. Y'all remember when? Do you guys remember when Charleston White said that David was innocent because he was not arrested? Right? And I don't know, and I didn't know nothing about this guy until he got accused of this crime. The dude had 1 million followers on Instagram. I had never heard of him. Never heard of this guy. He was already pretty famous. But that's the thing. We could have all kind of conversations, but if you're not plugged in with the Instagram and I'm not even gonna say he's SoundCloud. I don't even think he's SoundCloud. I think he's beyond that. But like, there are people on Instagram, let's say Aiden Ross, or people on streamers and Twitter and this, that, and the third. Aiden Ross is infamous. Millions and millions of people know who Aiden Ross is. But those are people who are online all day. There's a whole world out there of people don't care about streamers whatsoever. They don't know who he is. If Aiden Ross committed a major felony right now and went viral, half the world would be learning who he is because of the crime. That's the same thing with this guy. I didn't know this guy from a hole in the wall, but allegedly he tours. He has a massive fan base. These kids are following this guy like it's no tomorrow. And this guy is dastardly, gang. And we don't even know. Listen, they said that they don't even know if the thing gonna stick. Because the allegedly they moved faster than they should have. Right? They moved fast and they didn't have all of the evidence lined up correctly, right? They move way fast on this guy's. We're not even fast. I'm not gonna say fast. Let's put it like this. I think they went against the prosecution, something like that, right? I got the article right here, but I think what's going on is they may have moved a little too quick on before the prosecution was really ready, right? They're trying to get him off of Fortnite, this, that, and the third. That's not the one I'm looking for. But let me get the right article because there's a lot going on with this guy. He was arrested on suspicion of killing a 14-year-old girl. How do you even get in the presence of a 14-year-old girl to bring her to his home? It's a lot going on with the family, right? It's a lot going on with the family. And it seems like they kind of allowed her to be. I mean, she may have been running out. I heard she was running away, this, that, and the third. But I think there was a point where, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, where the family kind of looked the other way a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody that has a knowledge of the case, right? If you have a knowledge of the case, get in the chat. But I think the family kind of looked the other way for a little bit. Singer David was arrested for suspicion of killing a 14-year-old girl that was found dead in his Tesla. They took forever to arrest this guy, right? Her body was decomposing. It was found 7 months ago, and it was apparently abandoned in his Tesla. The police said in a brief statement that homicide detectives arrested him. He's a 21-year-old Houston-born alt-pop singer whose real name is David Burke. Defense attorneys, they said that they're getting death threats too. His defense attorneys. Let us be clear: the actual evidence in the case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he is not the cause of her death. That's what the defense attorneys are supposed to say. They said there has been no indictment returned by any grand jury in this case, and no criminal complaint filed. That's probably why they're saying they moved too fast. David has only been detained under suspicion. We will vigorously defend his innocence. In their first public statement on this case, authorities did not publicly name Burke as a suspect until his arrest. He was being held without bail. He's been under investigation, looking into her death, and the probe was officially a secret. But his existence and a designation as a target was revealed on February 25th when his mother, father, and brother filed an objection in the Texas court to subpoena demanding that they testify. All right. So this guy, to me, when you look at the whole big picture of this guy's he's an awful person. He made a song in regards to this. He made several songs, but people like this macabre shit. They like to hear stuff like this and things that kind of teeter on death and situations of that nature. And I don't know. He feels mad creepy. He feels like he was. I went down a rabbit hole a few months ago, and they have footage of him with her, this, that, and the third, trying to hide her face. And guy seems mad. It's just a weird guy, creepy guy. And I think that I don't think he's going to beat this charge on any uncertain terms. But at the end of the day, they got holes in it. If you're watching, they got some holes in it, and it feels like those defense attorneys are going to do their job and try to expose those holes. Right? I'm not saying pause. They're going to try to expose those holes and try to make it like you guys can't really prove anything, right? But it just got to be this. We got to keep guys like this out of here. All right, let's just be honest. And a lot of kids, like I said, a lot of kids they want to teeter on dangerous things and dangerous individuals. Like when those guys get arrested for murders, they get more female fans writing to jails, trying to get in touch with the guy. They got whole websites dedicated to marrying inmates that are in there for life. So people want to be in this world, this macabre shit. And I think that he played into it, but he also is macabre. He's macabre and creepy, right? Miss Pittsburgh, did he report his car stolen at any point before it was told? I think he did. I think they did report the car stolen. I'm not sure, but I did remember hearing something about. I don't know. Be honest, guys, because they found it. They didn't find it at his house, but it was close. I don't know. Right? I don't know. But end of the day, to me, this is the kind of stuff that should never even happen in the first place. All right. It shouldn't even be a thing where this guy is even allowed the very first time. Like, this girl is not that age. Get him out of here. But like I said, I think the parents got to be held accountable to a degree. It's a lot going on. If you go down a rabbit hole, you know what I mean? If you go down a rabbit hole, there's a lot to discuss with this. And it's just really crazy. It's crazy out here, gang. Let me see what Cheyenne said. I knew when the first details came out that she was trying to get out of a home that was unsafe or neglectful. It could be that too. Her home life could have been unsafe. All right. He's a predator and knew what he could do with her the moment they met. These guys are good at this stuff, gang. I'm going to be honest. Let me see. They did the same with Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy, when he went to prison, females all over him. This, that, and the third. Well, everybody still do. You still got the handsome felon and this, that, and the third. Every 2 months, there's a female that get a woman that gets her, or a young person that gets their picture taken, and then they go viral. She went viral for her mugshot. So it's like it's levels to this, right? They may be cute, this, that, and the third. We used to joke on the show when we was doing Clash podcast a couple years ago. We had the Home Depot girl. She went viral just off her picture. So we go viral with these people because they picture and this, that, and third. And this is what they do with these fellas when they see the guy. He's handsome, this, that, and third. So they want to meet him and marry him, talk to him, have read their story. That's why they can't make books and profit off of their crimes, because people will buy the book, they'll buy the merch. They're just not. So this is why they stop people from being able to make money once they are accused of these things, gang. All right, listen, man. I think I covered everything. I think I'm done for now. Right? I think I'm done for now. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Listen, man. Girly Jock, I see you, West Indian. I think I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to get out of here. Raise your water. Raise your glass up. See, I didn't know this about Paul Walker. I was dating a 14-year-old. I didn't know about this. That is news to me. Sim said Charles Manson had a whole fan club supporting him. He did, and it's a lot of other guys that have these people to this day. It's not even just old stuff. It's people right now. They get wives and women and this, that, and the third while they're serving life sentences. It is crazy, right? Frida Robot said, read the complex article. Sure thing. I'm gonna read that, tap into that, and see what's going on with that. I'll get into the video. I already did a video about the 100 rappers. I said that J. Cole, they named J. Cole the #1 rapper over everybody else. I already talked about Complex 100 list. So I'm not gonna do that today. That's way too detailed. 100 rappers. I didn't even read the 100 rappers when I did that video. I read the top 30. I was like, 100 rappers is absolutely insane. I'm not gonna read that. So, man, that's it, man. I'm just gonna get out of here, gang. You know what time it is. You know what we gotta do right now. First things first, bing bong. Head on over to my guys at black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental US. All right. I'm getting out of here, man. Listen, get your steps in today. Stay healthy, stay focused. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna get us out of here on a video, gang. You know how we do. I'm gonna get us out of here on a video, and we gonna meet again in the future on some Carol Burnett. By the way, Carol Burnett is 93 years old, which is insane to me. But gang, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys locking in. I'll probably put some more video ups later. Go head on over to the Patreon. All right. I'm about to tap out. It's me and you forever. Get this out of here. Bing bong. Boom bing.
In my peanut butter Thames, cup filled to the brim. Enemies and friends, who the real and who pretend. In my peanut.
Peace.
my peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Enemies and friends, who the real and who pretend. In my peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Going for the win, now watch me set the trend.
Yeah, spread out like rumors, which direction till my head can spin. The victor's not a victim, and Timberland's tilted with a grin. I tried once, I tried twice, but now I trifecta. He plays 4 till he plays 5, and then it's grind get him. I see some scholars break the law whether they have or not. How you dropping knowledge and bombing when you don't have a lot? Steph Curry looking blurry, going fake a shot. The things Brody can witness and steel toes and some ankle socks. Everybody wanna get it litty, then he getting lost, trying to give a loss. Getting busy, is he really gritty or uber grizzly? Sing along? Gotta figure bigger when a new contender Igga get the trimmers, gotta cut him off. Stew him in the sauce when I'm killing dinner, then you know I'm finna go and get the fork. What a situation when you lean it in, but they really should've kinda sidestepped. Paying dudes start to get a little tax, and only thing left is a hot debt. It's a pipe dream and a slight scheme. Igga, look closely, there's a bubble cloud. So you fuck around with the fuck around and play melodies, mama let us sound.
Did Challz carry a shotgun? Yeah, son, I had one and then some. I was dumb young. You need one? Where I come from, one direction where I run from. Uptown by the yum yums. Used to rent a rock, that means a hoopty for a jum jum, or a slim jim for some pum pum, or a pimp slump for a fun one. Niggas make big moves like Ben Grimm and then they come dump on some PYT that wanna lump hump. Pumps in the bump, then get back on the block. Beastie Boys like Ad rockin' them. Timbo boost, spit my truth up on the roof. Duck D12 like I am proof, but it ain't no rap spoof. Troop like Cox Sportif, immaculate feline sneaks. Look my gold teeth, so I took my old heat for OB Timbos and a stogie. For my man, we call them Smokey, like the bear, but they ain't got no beef here. Cause if we make it to them biscuits, good luck calling the Triscuits. Cake no cracker, say you misfits. Nah.
Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Enemies and friends, who the real and who pretend. In my peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Going for the win, now watch me set the trend.
I take these peanut butter Timbs, shine them up nicely, turn them sideways, shove them up your candy ass. If you don't like me, fucking fight me. But it's very likely I'ma bust your shit to the white meat. Feeling kitty giddy, no diddy. Violence excites me, I'm on that Wu-Tang. Can rap about food, man, and make it tough. French vanilla, butter, pecan, chocolate deluxe. Enough, back to the rough stuff, the head bust and gun dust. Got Nintendo 64, you know, I don't play much. One look's worth 1,000 words, so I don't say much. Trust what? Trust who? Circle so small? I step on my own shoes, leave you stretched out on the first floor of the mall. That's Barnes & Nobles, used to be hopeful. The game would stay organic, Whole Foods, but I watch the process, McDonald's. As you drive through, Transformer equals auto-tunes, clown shoe, big balloons. Wake me up for this nightmarish ass cartoon.
My peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Enemies and friends, who the real and who pretend. In my peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Going for the win, now watch me set the trend.
I'm a block hugger, Glock tucker, thug passion. You got me on my Tupac shit. Crash out like who on it. Spin the block like 2 got hit. Empty clip, peanut butter Timbs and a starter classic. Hoodie army fatigues and a snapback to match it. In the wintertime, I'm skiing through the snow like the Aspens. Fuck a has-been, you would never was. Never had the buzz, never got the love. My blood pump, go get it out the mud. Goons make you crisscross jump, they be throwing slugs. Peanut butter Timbs, time to fuck it up. Running through the city like Dawn the Duck. VIP standing on them couches, yeah, we don't give a fuck. All these bottles in my section. Rolling loud, time to light it up.
My peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to the brim. Enemies and friends, who the real and who pretend. In my peanut butter Timbs, cup filled to